This Ask Misty is from an irritated bartender who doesn't seem to be getting tipped from drag queens. Now, I'm so glad you asked this question because this is a really good one. Now, let me ask you this. Are the drag queens at your bar employed by the bar? And by employed, I mean, are they working? Are they performing? Are they hosting? Are they supposed to be there because they've been asked by management? Or are they going out to be cute, hang out, be seen, see others, maybe meet possible boyfriends and evening companions? And if they're asked to be there, I understand. If they're there looking for potential companionship or, you know, just being cute and hanging out, they should tip you. Now let me explain. Oftentimes, when bars ask drag queens to come and perform at their club or hostess their events, a lot of times they're like, oh, I can only afford to pay you this much, but you get X amount of drinks. Or they're like, I can only give you this amount, but you can get free drinks all night. And that's very common. Now, if a drag queen is working there, hosting, emceeing, performing, or whatever, if she's asked to be there by management, I think she's entitled to free drinks. And I don't think that she should be expected to tip the bartender if she's working there. For two reasons. Number one, when I'm hosting or emceeing or performing, I don't carry around a purse. I don't carry around a wallet. I don't carry around money. So I'm like, oh, hi everybody, welcome to the club. Hold on. You know, getting money out. And number two, I think this happened when I first started doing drag. I was emceeing a show and I ordered a drink from the bartender and I gave him a tip and he's like, oh, no, baby, you work here, and gave it back to me. Now, that theory only applies in my brain if you work there and you're actually working. Lips, we usually get off work pretty early, and sometimes we go around kikiing and drinking in Fort Lauderdale. Now, if you're going out to a bar that you don't work in or you're off of work for that night, you're absolutely expected to not only tip, but to pay for your drinks. You can't walk into places and expect free cocktails because you're amazing. Now, if management offers it to you, that's a completely different story. If a bartender offers it to you, that's another story. But if your intention is to go and your intention is to drink, then you should intend to tip and pay. Personally, when I'm going out clubbing with friends and if I'm in drag and we're doing a little bar hop, if I'm planning on drinking, I bring money. If I'm not planning on drinking, I don't. And quite often, I don't usually plan on drinking, meaning I don't have to be drunk to have a good time. I don't need to have a cocktail to feel cute. I don't need liquid courage to be a gorgeous woman. So if I'm out at a club and a bartender's like, hey, Misty, let me buy you a drink, I accept it, and oftentimes I don't have a tip. But I think that's another gratis thing. If they're thankful for your presence and like, let me get you a cocktail, I think that it should slide in the, this is a gift. And if you don't carry money, then you shouldn't be expected to tip them. But yes, I don't know your story, so I don't know where you live or what bar you work at. If drag queens just come in and they, you know, keep constantly getting drinks and not tipping you, or if it's a show bar where the girls are working. But I do understand your frustration. And to be honest with you, I have worked at 2 straight bars that I was working at. One of them was in Miami. It was a Christmas party downtown Miami, and it was a huge straight thing. But they wanted me to MC and do a number and blah, blah, blah. And when I walked in, the owner handed me 5 drink tickets. Okay, cute. Oftentimes, when I'm in a straight venue, I get a little nervous. And so I might need the liquid courage a little more. Now, I went to the bar and I'm like, oh, I need a cocktail, baby. Thank you so much. I'll have a Jaeger and Coke. And he got me a drink and I walked away. And then later, I went back to the bar and I actually went to a different bartender. Now, I like to, like, if I'm in a venue that I don't know, I like to rotate bartenders unless the first one I go to makes my drink sickening. But also, if I know that I'm using drink tickets from the owner and I don't have cash on me and I'm not tipping, I don't want to go to the same guy and pull him away from customers and be like, can you get me this, can you get me this, can you get me this? Because I just think it's rude. So I went to a different bartender and he ran over to her and said, she doesn't tip. And that pissed me off. Meanwhile, this was 2 years ago. But I was like, excuse me? I'm working here tonight just as you are. See these drink tickets? They actually said guest of the owner's name of the club. It was a straight bar in Miami. I don't even remember what it was called. First of all, if the owner is giving out drink tickets, obviously whoever the customer is friends with the owner. Meaning, why are you trying to be rude to his sister or his cousin or his guest, whether they're friends or not? And that was really offensive. And I worked up to her and I'm like, excuse me, I'm here working just as you are. Granted, I found out later that they didn't know that there was going to be a drag queen there, and they didn't know that I was working and entertaining and blah blah blah. So after I performed, the bartenders came up to me and apologized and said, I'm so sorry, blah blah blah. And after my number, after I made tips on stage, I walked up to them and tipped them. But it was still it was a confrontational situation. And I worked in another straight bar that had a hot body contest every Thursday night a couple years ago as well. And it was a straight bartender. And I was working there. I worked there every Thursday. And he's like, I can't believe you never tip. And I'm like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. So in my brain, I'm like, whoa, this is a straight person thing. If a straight bartender is working in a gay bar, he's there for the money, end of story. So he was very offended that I didn't tip. So from then on, A, I wouldn't drink, or B, I would, you know, bring $3 if I was going to have 3 drinks or whatever, because I was prepared for him, because I knew that he was going to have attitude, or he was going to be shady. But if I didn't have the tips, I just wouldn't drink. And so I don't know where you work. I don't know your story. But the bottom line is, if a girl is expected to be there by owners and or management, I don't think that they should be or expected to tip while they're working. So yeah, I'm sorry that you were frustrated, and I don't know where you are. But I hope your situation gets better. But if you are in a show bar where girls that are working aren't tipping you, that's a frustration. I understand your frustration, but I think you should get over it. But if you're in a situation where the girls are coming in to hang out and they're not tipping you, I don't know how to tell you to say something, but you should say something to them. I don't know. Anyways, this was an Ask Misty about to tip your bartender or not, or why girls. This was an Ask Misty about why girls don't tip, and when girls should be expected to tip. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.